it's me, Tokkuri Yashi, and we are back again with another new character. This time it is a Prifest Shinatsu, who is the dark and rather edgy alter ego of Rei. So let's jump in first then, have a look at her banner just before we go and have a look at her skills. And we can see here it is a Prifest banner. Again, double rates here until the 16th of September. And as they did announce to us, warn us that Ayla is not on this banner. As you can see, we do have all the other Prifests, but Ayla is not here. So the next time you will be able to get Ayla, if you don't have her now, will be at New Year's. We did do our summons for this Shinatsu yesterday, so if you haven't checked them out yet, then please go and have a look. There was quite a lot of drama in that summoning session, so we'll quickly then have a look at this image of Shinatsu. As we can see here, she is a breaker character. She's a wind element. She is physical and she sits very close to the front there at position 198. That will be quite relevant, as we will see as we go through her skills. A loop pattern, skill 2 is her first action, and then she has skill 2 and skill 1, one of every 5 actions, and I think it's a little bit misleading. This loop pattern is a bit better than it looks, as it's going to be, well, duplicated with her clone. Also has a special skill that isn't in the loop pattern, that is activated when she is attacked. So let's go and have a look at these skills then and see how Shinatsu works. So here we have my Shinatsu. So let's start off by taking a look at her union base. As we can see here, this union base is a summon, and it inflicts heavy physical damage to one enemy character in front of you. This is 6 times physical attack, single target. If the Shinatsu clone is on the battlefield, which it won't be the first time this union base is used, she will then inflict additional physical damage and slightly increase the physical damage taken by targeted enemy. So again, a second single target, 6 times physical attack, and an 8% physical damage debuff to the opponent for damage taken. Now, if this is the first time she does this union based, she will greatly increase the action speed of all allies and summon her alter ego clone. The alter ego clone doesn't use union based, but it does use her skill 1, skill 2 and the special skill, and it follows the same loop pattern. So in effect, we have 2 Shinatsus on the field. I guess that's why this union based, you get a second instance of damage if the clone is on, because the clone doesn't use the union base, but then Shinatsu does double instance damage instead, the real one, with this union based when the clone is on the battlefield. So it's a 200 times action speed buff to all allies, which is permanent. So you may not be locked into having to have Theo on a wind team. This Shinatsu 2 is now going to be an action speed buffer for the wind team. And as we said, she summons this clone. So all of the skills that we look on, the rest of the skills here for Shinatsu are being performed by the clone as well. So everything in effect is being doubled. So let's then have a look then at the skill 1. We can see it inflicts large physical damage to an enemy character in front, 2.4 times physical attack, slightly lowers the physical defense of the opponent too, for 18 seconds, 182. Like we said, 182 isn't the biggest in defense reduction, but it will be applied twice. Once from Shinatsu, once from the clone when the clone's on the field, and 2.4 times physical attack again. Not the biggest, but the clone will be doing this as well, so the damage will be higher than maybe it looks like on the paper. In addition to all of this, she will deploy a physical nullification barrier on herself and moderately recover hit points. 60,335 damage is nullified by the barrier. The barrier is up for 18 seconds, and she heals about 52,234 hit points. Again, the clone will be doing this on herself as well. So then let's have a look at this skill 2. As we can see here, reduces, so this one, it would word it a little bit funny anyway. So she reduces damage taken by 50% if there is an ally in front of her. If there is not an ally in front of her, then she does not have this damage reduction. Now this As we said when we looked at the image and their position, it might be a problem because she sits in position 198, very far forward. There are no meta relevant wind characters in front of her, so it's likely she is going to be the first character on your team. She doesn't really appear to be a tank. She definitely doesn't have tanking stats. So maybe the only way that we're going to get an ally in front of her is to be using her with Wakana. Maybe these two are going to be locked together. If you have Shinatsu, you're going to need to be running Wakana with her, because Wakana will summon her Hedgehog. The Hedgehog is summoned at position 115, which is in front of Shinatsu. That will give Shinatsu this damage reduction. The clone is summoned 100 places behind Shinatsu, which means there will always be an ally in front of the clone, so the clone will always have this damage reduction up. In addition, she also increases her own physical attack power by an extra large amount. 21,780 currently on mine. Again, the clone will be doing this for themselves for 12 seconds, however, so unlike Aira, it's not a permanent stack. But I do think she is still on par with Aira in terms of damage. She also slightly increases her own physical crit damage, so a physical crit damage buff of 10% there. Finally then, she does have this special skill, so let's have a look. What does this special skill? She's doing so much already. This special skill activates when attacked by an enemy, inflicting physical damage on that enemy. It's 1.8 times physical attack counter here every time she gets attacked. The clone will be doing this as well. This is where we've seen maybe with Shinatsu there is some PvP shenanigans to be had. So there we go, that is Shinatsu's skills. Let's take her out for a little bit of a run then and see how she works, how good she is, what damage she does. Is she tanky? And see if we can maybe show these PvP shenanigans as well. So first, we'd like to try and show you this PvP shenanigans that we have got here. We have a video here posted by Ereru on his Twitter account, and it's showing Shinatsu here fighting in a PvP style battle. And I think what's going on here is the counter damage that Shinatsu is doing is enough to take out some of the weaker opponents. You see, all three of them target Shinatsu, and even though she's killed, she still counters and does the counter damage, and it takes out the opponent. I mean, I've tried Shinatsu in a few different battles, in friend battle, just to see how she does. Sometimes it works, sometimes we get some decent counter damage, other times it really doesn't do too much. So there really is potentially some shenanigans to be had here with Shinatsu in a PvP. Okay, so let's take Shinatsu into a little training battle, see if we can see what is going on here. We'll send her in just with Wakana, and let's just slow it down and see what happens here. So she enters the field here. She is at the front now, no allies in front of her, so she will not have damage reduction up. Then Wakana summons their little hedgehog there. Now the hedgehog does appear in front of Shinatsu, so now she will get that 50% damage reduction. We can see here above Shinatsu, once she's done her union base here now, which will summon that clone of her, which will be summoned 100 places behind her. But there we go, there is the clone. So the clone is going to be doing exactly the same as Shinatsu, skill 1, skill 2 and special, so this clone will be countering as well, but it doesn't do a union base. And then we can see, if you can see above Shinatsu here, this little grey circle with a cross in it, I have asked around to see what that is, and it does appear to show that that is indicating Shinatsu is now doing counter damage. It's like a counter damage acknowledgement above her head there with that little cross in the little grey circle thing there. So there we go, that is Shinatsu in a little nutshell there, really. Run with Wakana, so that everything is up now. Let's send her into like a proper team, a full team, and see what kind of damage she can do. Let's take Shinatsu into a proper battle then against this boss here. Remember, unlike Aira, I believe Shinatsu is limited to single target opponents. She's not going to be doing very well against multiple target opponents. This, with the Summer Paresia, as I don't have either of them, the Paresia or the Korea, is Donut has one up here to borrow. We can't borrow two, so that means we're going to have to put in someone else. So like I said, Summer Paresia would probably be the 5th character on here. I imagine we're still going to be using Theo, even though they both have action speed. Remember, Theo is a mini Yameth. She still does have a lot of buffs for all of her allies. We're going to put in 6-star Shiori here as our 5th character because we can't borrow 2. And let's send this and let's see what kind of damage Shinatsu can do with this team. Now, like I said, we would probably have some Paresia in the place of 6-star Shiori. That's probably now the wind physical team. It's gone from being very friendly to being very expensive. Remember, however, though, that Paresia and Korea, these summer variants, do have passives that scale on the number of allies. And now we have got Wakana and we have got Shinatsu here that are summoning a additional ally onto the team. So that means we have 7 characters on the team, which means both of those characters are going to get even stronger now with the Shinatsu summon as well as Wakana's summon. It looks like perhaps this 6-star Shiori and the 6-star Rei have been pushed a little further off this wind team. Although they may still get used a little bit, we will see when Clan Battle comes around. Or they will be used as a backup if you are like me and you do not have either Summer Korea or Summer Paresia. Last Clan Battle Paresia was the one that was tanking. This Clan Battle though, I don't think that will be the case because I'm pretty sure Shinatsu is going to be there on the team. However, we want to see what kind of damage she does. She's doing a lot of damage here with her clone, with her counters, and he's hanging in there pretty well. But then again, this training boss isn't very strong. So we're coming up to the end of the battle. Look at this, already over 1 billion damage on this training boss. Our characters just get stronger and stronger, and the time is up. So let's have a look at Shinatsu's damage here. 1.1 billion in total, and Shinatsu is there on the top, a very capable DPS character as well as the defense down that she's doing. 6-star Shiori though didn't do too bad either. She's almost keeping up there in damage on this team, so not bad at all. So there we have it. There is Prifest Shinatsu. She is a very good DPS for this wind physical team. She has got some defense down as well, which is pretty good, and action speed buff, so maybe we could have somebody else on the team instead of Theo. Very good character to have indeed. If you did summon for her, hopefully you got her. If you are yet to summon, then good luck to you. Let me know what you think of this Shinatsu here. Hopefully we will get to see her used in lots of events. I'm going to be in PvP, perhaps some of them shenanigans. Maybe we'll see you there a little bit more. Definitely Clan Battle. I'm sure she will really help with Deep Quest. We are getting new Deep Quest stages very soon. She's probably designed to help with those. Anyway, let me know what you think of it. I am Tokkuri Yashi. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again for another video. Bye 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 bye. Hey!